Hi, couple great IRL events and more on Japan Open Editions. This and more in today's action-packed episode of the NEKO Alpha Show, episode number 36, bringing you NFT news and alpha and more from Japan. I'm Neil, and I'm here with United NEKO Alliance co-founder Steve. Remember, not financial advice. Do your own research. Definitely do not look to us for financial advice. Hey, Steve, what a couple great events this week.
Hey Neil, yeah, it was really cool. We started on Monday. We went to an event at Ultra Super New Gallery in Harajuku. It's put on by WENtokyo, and I've got from their Twitter here. I've got a video that they put together, which is really cool. There were two artists that were featured: Rick Oostenbroek of the Netherlands and A. Mashiro, who is a Japanese artist. You can see the gallery here. It was a great group, great vibe. We met a lot of people there, and the art was really cool. To show you an example of Rick Oostenbroek and A. Mashiro's art, there's Rick's art, there's A. Mashiro's art. So what is WENtokyo? So let me show this video to you without the sound. They are creating an IRL kind of event space, and it's going to be sort of an artist residency location. It's in Gotanda, which is a couple stops down from Shibuya. So they've got this building, they're renovating it, but it's going to have a place for artists to stay. They're going to have ways of different exhibition spaces, different sort of signage, which I know Neil's really excited about, outside and inside. So it looks pretty cool. So that was that. That's WENtokyo. So check that out. And then we went to an event put on by Bright Moments in Tokyo. Of course, a very famous virtual art gallery. And they had an event at Trunk Hotel, which we've used that space many times for our NFTers events. But here's a couple pictures from another event they had. But they had this event, and what it was actually an overview of their upcoming event in May. They're going to be here for 5 days with some IRL events. They're going to be showing some art. They're going to have real-time minting of CryptoTokyoites. And so CryptoTokyoites is the next installment of the basically like the global crypto citizens project, which started with, I think, Galaxy, and then it was Crypto Venetians, and then it was in New York. There's a bunch of them. So it's the next collection is going to be happening in Tokyo. So we were talking about that with them, and talking about the event that's coming up. So that was really cool. There's a bunch of really good people there as well. So we met a lot of people and saw a lot of old friends.
Yeah,
So that was a lot of fun.
both of those events, and there was quite a bit of overlap too. Like a lot of people were at both of the events. But on Monday we saw Kawhi Skull was there. We saw Alexi Andre at both events, and of course he's one of the artists in Bright Moments, and also maybe the artist who's done the most drops on art blocks. He's done 7 of them, and he's also the designer for the friendship bracelet there. And who else did we saw? We saw Oak yesterday there from Dendiga Den. We saw Felix was there. Some folks from WENtokyo.
Just
And
everybody was at these events, it seems
yeah,
like.
Kush was there.
Kush was there. Ape Sheehan was there. We saw met Derek, who's a pretty renowned artist as well. Met him for the first time. He's got a lot of Solana pieces and has a lot of big collectors. We're talking about that. That was good. That was great. I mean, just a lot of people at those events, and it just seems like things are sort of like feeling like they're heating up. There's people from overseas coming, visiting. There's a lot of plans for the future that are being cooked up here. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. Also saw on Monday some folks from Yugian project were there. And yesterday, some representatives from Shibuya, so some Shibuya City, and talking about how they're really keen to see Shibuya uh, be a Web3 hub in Japan. So they actually have, the city actually has people on that, and we know that they've been involved with some other events, like providing space for the events occasionally, and sometimes involved with putting the events together. But it was good talking to them, and they are really keen to do much more. And there's something really, they're looking at a really big kind of coordinated event near the end of the year in November, I believe. And I know we've seen that teased by Yugian as well. So uh, that will definitely be bringing more info on that as it unfolds.
Yeah, that was really fortuitous to just like bump into those guys last night and talk about what they're doing with Shibuya-ku, that area of Tokyo is doing, and what some events, what some kind of like plans are. That was really cool.
Yeah, and it's just really, I mean, these kind of meetups, there was a ton of events, sort of all of the fall, right through the end of last year. But these events were particularly nice because they weren't super huge, so it was like sort of 30, 40-ish people, but everybody was involved. Literally everybody there is involved in NFTs and or Web3 somehow. And so it was really great chance to mix with a lot of people.
Absolutely was.
All right, let's go to the 24-hour ranking by volume for Japan. Oh, by the way, I want to just show you this tweet from Konipu, who runs the NFTranking.jp. So he just announced today that he is now supporting it was only from OpenSea before, but now he's supporting X2Y2, Looks Rare, and Blur, and it says etc. I don't know what the etc. is, but anyways, he's now looking at the volume from all these different marketplaces. So new and improved NFT ranking.jp by our friend Konipu. So back to the ranking here. So a lot of the usual suspects here, but I thought, we'd just look into, we mentioned the Ikehaya Pass last week, but there's also the Kiyoshi Seeds project, which is another open edition. So I thought we'd just jump into these open editions and talk about this a little bit. So let's start with Kiyoshi Seeds. So you can see here, don't think, enjoy. That's his motto, and you can see on the right there, that's his figure Kiyoshi, and on the left you can see the seed. Here it is. This is the 1155, so that ERC 1155 that dropped, and he's got a whole write-up here on a kind of a blog post. What is Kiyoshi Seeds? So he says. Caution, no utility. So he says it's all about having fun, and you're going to get to take your seeds and burn a couple seeds and get another piece of art and maybe something else after that. And there's been a few tweets on it too. Here's one. So it shows again, burn 2 Kiyoshi seeds. A Kiyoshi is burned, and then maybe something else later. And I think here's a piece of sample art too. The sample. I draw a lot of Kiyoshi that are born by burning 2 Kiyoshi seeds. This is a Kiyoshi slime. Okay.
So should I be picking up 2 of these? It says like burn 2 seeds or something.
Yeah.
Seems
I mean, I guess if you want to get in on it, that's you need multiple seeds to have fun with this. And here's one more example. So he's sort of showing again. Here's a Kiyoshi bird, Kiyoshi dragon, Kiyoshi lion, Kiyoshi vampire. So, by the way, this Kiyoshi Seeds is by Ujuuna, who is the founder of CNP Jobs, which is one of the CNP projects, of course. So then we also have the Ikehaya Pass, which we were talking about a bit last week, which is now at, it's going up again. It was dipped down to 0.1, and it's up to 0.114. There's what's the ownership number? So there's 6,000 of them, right? I think I got that wrong on the video
15%.
last week, but yeah, there's 6,000, and he's been saying, first he said no utility, then he said, oh, I'm going to try some different things, and there's been a little bit more info on that. So there's a tweet from 2 days ago saying, the mechanic of burn to learn is simple. By burning the Ikehaya Pass, you'll receive video lectures initially available only in Japanese. I have already produced several hours of video materials. So this is one idea that Ikehaya has is burn to learn. So he figures that people will be willing to burn their NFTs to watch his videos that he made. And he said, I've originally been a writer of business books, and he has published a book about blog writing 10 years ago that's still selling well. So he's thinking maybe that would be another thing he could burn for. But he does sort of stress that he's going to try different things and see what works. But I think that it's interesting to sort of see the experimentation, but also sort of the emphasis here on English. So this sort of like lets me segue into the next thing that he mentioned recently on his Twitter, which is this one here. So the CNP team is planning a massive free mint. This is the first global challenge for us. It's called Makimono Free Mint. So 7 colored Makimono scrolls and a legendary partner. So there's going to be some things you can do with these scrolls by synthesizing scrolls. So it's basically take two scrolls, a red and a blue scroll, and get a purple scroll, and then presumably maybe that's what you need to get the thing on the right. So, but this is the way this is phrased. This is the first global challenge for us. So there's been a lot of CNP projects already out, and there has been some effort in English, and there's certainly some notice overseas, but we always expected, and I think Ikehaya has mentioned this from the beginning, is that he really wants to take the whole CNP ecosystem to be like globally recognized as a top project, and he even uses the word blue chip sometimes. So this is, I think, what we're seeing. It's definitely interesting here. I think here's the web page for that, Makimono Free Mint. And again, it goes into this stuff. It's all in English. But I did have a little bit of trouble understanding sort of like how it works and when it's happening. So definitely going to be following this closely and trying to figure out sort of how it's unfolding, and let you guys know.
Yeah, the Ikehaya, called the Ikehaya ecosystem, is really strong, very dominant in Japan. It's hit the radar overseas a few times, and it broke through with the Ikehaya Pass. But we're really seeing that they're making a really concerted effort to, with their English, with their tweets, to reach out to the overseas market, which of course is where most of the action is, and a lot of the growth potential is.
Yeah, and
So
here's another
really
here's another example. This is another Medium article here. It says complete list NFT projects I'm involved in by Ikehaya. So this is an English, document, sort of like these are the things I'm doing. So this is really good. I definitely recommend checking this out. We'll put the link in the description. But because there's so many projects and he is not hands-on with every one, this is a good sort of base document to sort of figure out which things is he actually hands-on with, because I think that's a pretty key. It's definitely so far has been a key indicator of which things do really well. Those are the two the big open editions I want to talk to you about, but I thought I'd just like jump in and show a third one, and that's the always entertaining GORO. So let's have a look over here. Here's a tweet where he's showing the roadmap for his open edition. So he came out with a whole series of open editions, and you can see that. And so here's a look at the roadmap for his series of ERC 1155s that he's made available on Manifold. And you can see you start with a chibi GORO at the top left there, and you can turn it into a GORO fish, into a GORO crab, and then into some kind of crab. And you see the bird down there, the GORO bird, which turns into a dragon. So what's so funny about this is that when you actually look at like what are these mystery things, and you can see, so here you can see the chibi GORO turns into the fish, and then that turns into the crab. But then the actual like crab thing is crab stick, which is like the food, right? And then the common GORO bird turns into yakitori. So the dragon was actually, I mean, it's funny because the fire breathing dragon is actually roasted chicken on a stick with a GORO head. And then the final thing, the granddaddy of everything, is the big mecha, which is a GORO robot. Again, another self-portrait on a robot pixel art. So always very funny.
Really cool, really fun.
it's
Really
always
fun.
it's always making me laugh.
Yeah, really. It's got a lot of imagination and doing stuff that's really quirky and fun, basically. And also, I just want to say congratulations to you, Neil. You were followed by Goro-san.
I was, yeah,
Twitter.
yesterday, yeah. And so I tweeted out about
Congrats.
that, and he even retweeted that. So I'm on his
Oh,
radar,
nice.
but now
Oh, yeah.
now the pressure's on. Now I got to be a holder.
You got to be a
Uh,
holder.
so yeah, gonna have to do that soon. But definitely it's been on my list for a while. Anyways, I mean, he comes out with his CryptoGoro one per day, as he says, until he dies. He's going to do one per day. And according to his Twitter, he's going to die soon. It says artist almost dead. So we'll see about that. So everybody, thanks for watching, and make sure you follow us, United NEKO Alliance, on Twitter, and check out our spaces on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Japan time. We've got another good one coming up. This coming Tuesday, we've got the Akiya DAO. Akiya, of course, is Japanese for empty house, and there's a lot of empty houses, and some of them are amazing classic farmhouses and things like that. So this Akiya DAO is going to tell us about what they're up to and why are they called Akiya DAO and what is their mission. So join us on Tuesday for that.
Yeah, I had coffee with one of the founders of that a couple of days ago. Incredible story, incredible, ambitious project, and they've got a lot of help from a lot of people and a lot of opportunity. And they're starting things out off in Kyoto, which is really the historical center of Japan, and kind of similar to some of the stuff that WENtokyo is doing, but it's going to be based around Japan. It's going to be more rural based, but putting together residencies, art residencies around Japan, and using Akiyas to do that, the abandoned houses, and refurbishing them and using them, utilizing them. So it's very cool. Please check it out. Join us. Listen to the story.
All right. That's it. Bye from us. See you next time.